Okay, so this is my 1960s Kenmore sewing machine. I bought this thing used for $100 from some old lady. This is what I used to build my first few pairs of prototype underwear. And it's pretty old. It doesn't even have a date on it, but it's made in Japan from the 1960s. The lamp isn't even an LED, believe it or not. And if you're old enough to have seen a plug like this, then you're a lot older than I am, and maybe you've seen one of these things before. But anyways, so you take your thread. I can show you here. You're gonna take your thread. It's kind of hard with the camera, but you take your thread up top, then down, if you can see, and then you can wind it all the way up here, just like that, and through that one, and then basically, once you can bring the thing to the top, and I can't really run it through, but so you'd run that through, and then back down and down into your needle. It's pretty simple, pretty easy. And I wish someone had showed me what all these things do on the side, but if you can see the knobs, they all have a different stitch type. So this is your selector for the stitching, and then down here is the length. So by turning this dial, I actually was able to change the length of the stitching and kind of separate it out a little bit more and give it a little bit more space in between each stitch. And if I wanted to go short and be basically one after another for extra strength, I'd dial it all the way back. And then up here is the selector switch, which changes in between the white and the orange for my stitch types. And then on this side is your reverse. Obviously that just reverses everything. So if you've ever found yourself in possession of a 1960s Kenmore sewing machine like this, it's really easy. You take your thread, you run it from the top, you run it down through the middle of the tensioner, back up and around and through this hole, back down, and then right down and through the bobbin, and then you can basically lift up, put your thread in here or your fabric in here, and keep all your sewing stuff at the back, and you start running your stuff through. So yeah, this is it. Kenmore sewing machine. Get one if you want to learn how.